The African savanna, an immense ancient expanse stretching across the heart of the continent. This is a land defined by endless horizons, where golden grasses ripple in the wind and the silhouettes of acacia and baobab trees punctuate the open sky. The savanna's geography is a mosaic of rolling plains, scattered woodlands and seasonal wetlands, each shaped by the forces of time and climate. Beneath the relentless gaze of the equatorial sun, the savanna endures dramatic cycles of abundance and scarcity. Temperatures soar during the day, often exceeding 30 degrees Celsius, while nights can bring a surprising chill. The rhythm of life here is orchestrated by the seasonal rains, which transform the landscape from parched earth to a sea of green. The climate is marked by stark contrasts, months of drought, when the land cracks and waterholes shrink, followed by sudden torrential downpours that awaken dormant seeds and fill the air with the scent of new growth. These cycles dictate the movements and behaviors of every living creature. The flora of the savanna is uniquely adapted to survive these extremes. Grasses dominate, their deep roots anchoring the soil and storing precious moisture. Scattered among them, acacias stretch their thorny branches skyward, while the mighty baobab stands as a living reservoir, its swollen trunk storing water for the dry months. The fauna of the savanna is as diverse as it is spectacular. Towering giraffes browse the treetops, their long necks reaching where few others can. Herds of antelope and zebra graze the grasses, ever alert to the presence of predators. Lions, the undisputed rulers of these plains, move with silent purpose through the tall grass, while leopards and cheetahs rely on stealth and speed to survive. The savanna is a stage for constant drama, a place where predator and prey are locked in an endless dance of survival. Yet, this is not a world of chaos, but of intricate balance, where every species plays a vital role in maintaining the health of the ecosystem. Elephants, the architects of the savanna, shape the land as they travel, uprooting trees and digging for water. Baboons and vervet monkeys form complex social groups, their calls echoing across the plains. Each animal, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, is woven into the fabric of this environment. The savanna's communities are built on intricate relationships. Wildebeest and zebra often graze together, their differing diets allowing them to share resources without competition. Oxpecker birds perch atop buffalo and giraffe, feeding on parasites and alerting their hosts to danger. Animal societies here are as sophisticated as any in the natural world. Elephant herds are led by wise matriarchs, guiding their families across vast distances in search of food and water. Wildebeest move in synchronized masses, their migrations among the largest and most spectacular on Earth. Hyena clans are ruled by powerful females, their social bonds reinforced by cooperation and cunning. Lion prides, too, are built on family ties, with each member playing a distinct role in the survival of the group. These social structures are not mere curiosities, they are the foundation of survival. Lionesses teach their cubs to hunt, while buffalo form protective circles around their young, facing outward to confront any threat. Every creature has a role and every action ripples through the ecosystem. Grazers trim the grasses, preventing wildfires and encouraging new growth. Predators cull the weak, ensuring the health of the herds. The grazers, with their ceaseless feeding, shape the very landscape, their movements carving paths and opening up new areas for growth. Predators, in turn, maintain the balance, their presence a constant test of vigilance and adaptation for the herds. Scavengers, from vultures to hyenas, are the final link in the chain, ensuring that nothing is wasted and returning vital nutrients to the soil. The strategies for survival are as varied as the savanna's inhabitants. Some animals rely on camouflage and stealth, others on speed or sheer strength. Many form alliances, while a few walk solitary paths. Strength in numbers is a common theme. Buffalo and elephants form formidable defenses, their unity deterring even the most determined predators. Yet for the leopard and the cheetah, solitude is the key to survival. Their lives are shaped by patience, precision, and the ability to vanish into the landscape. The savanna is a place of constant negotiation, where competition and cooperation are finely balanced. Waterholes become arenas for both conflict and uneasy truce, as animals gather in the heat of the day. As we journey deeper into this vibrant realm, we will witness the remarkable societies and survival strategies that define the savanna. We will observe the power and cooperation of the lion pride, the formidable unity of the buffalo herd, and the complex matriarchal society of the hyena clan. We will marvel at the solitary prowess of the leopard and the explosive acceleration of the cheetah. We will uncover surprising partnerships, mutualisms that benefit both parties and help maintain the delicate balance of life. We will witness astonishing displays of intelligence and adaptability as animals solve problems and adapt to the ever-changing environment. The savanna is more than a landscape. It is a living, breathing testament to the ingenuity of life. Here, every creature, from the mightiest elephant to the smallest dung beetle, is a vital thread in a magnificent, interconnected tapestry. This is the African savanna, a world of beauty, challenge, and endless wonder. The deep, thunderous roar of a lion echoes across the savanna, a sound that defines the nocturnal landscape and signals the presence of a formidable force. This powerful call is more than a warning. It is a declaration of territory, a message to rivals, and a rallying cry to kin, traveling vast distances through the cool night air. Unlike their solitary relatives, lions are defined by their intricate social bonds, forming complex groups known as prides. At the heart of every pride lies a network of related females, mothers, daughters, sisters, and grandmothers, whose enduring alliances form the backbone of the group. These matrilineal ties create a stable dynasty, with generations of lionesses defending and nurturing their shared territory, passing down knowledge and strength. Social grooming, gentle nuzzles, and close physical contact reinforce these bonds, reducing tension and fostering unity within the pride. Lionesses synchronize their reproductive cycles, giving birth around the same time and pooling their efforts to rear the next generation in a communal nursery. Cubs are cared for collectively, suckling from any lactating female, which increases their chances of survival in a world where danger is ever present. The pride's male members, often brothers or cousins, form coalitions that temporarily rule over the group, their presence both protective and impermanent. These coalitions are forged through fierce loyalty and cooperation, enabling them to challenge rivals and defend the pride from outside threats. Males patrol the boundaries, scent marking and roaring to assert dominance, their vigilance deterring intruders and safeguarding the pride's resources. In exchange for their guardianship, males claim the first share of every kill, a privilege that underscores the pride's strict hierarchy. After the males have fed, the lionesses take their turn, followed by the cubs, who must wait patiently for their opportunity. This order of feeding ensures the strongest are sustained, but in lean times, the youngest and weakest are most vulnerable to hunger. Scarcity can be unforgiving, and the struggle for survival is most acute among the cubs, whose fate is tied to the pride's fortunes. The arrival of new males brings upheaval, as coalitions battle for dominance in violent confrontations that leave scars and sometimes death in their wake. Victorious newcomers often commit infanticide, eliminating the offspring of their predecessors to bring the lionesses back into estrus. This grim strategy ensures that only their own genes will be carried forward, a harsh reality that shapes the pride's future. The cycle of conquest and loss is relentless, each coalition's reign fleeting, each generation shaped by the struggle for power. Bereaved lionesses soon return to fertility, ready to mate with the new rulers and begin the process anew. The pride's continuity depends on this cycle, with each new generation born of both cooperation and conflict. Within the pride, communication is constant and nuanced. Vocalizations, body language, and scent all play vital roles in maintaining order and cohesion. Hunting is a display of extraordinary teamwork, orchestrated by the lionesses who use silent signals and subtle cues to coordinate their movements. They spread out using the cover of grass and the contours of the land to encircle their prey, each lioness knowing her role in the unfolding strategy. Eye contact, tail flicks, and barely audible grunts guide the hunt, allowing the pride to move as one, closing in with precision. The final charge is a burst of raw power and coordination as a lioness lunges to topple the prey, her sisters swiftly joining to subdue it with suffocating bites. Through these intricate social structures, complex behaviors, and sophisticated communication, the pride endures, an enduring testament to the strength, intelligence, and unity that define the lion's reign over the savanna. The Cape buffalo, often called the Black Death, stands as one of Africa's most formidable herbivores. Its reputation is not merely a product of size or strength, but of a complex social structure and a suite of collective behaviors that have allowed it to thrive in the challenging environments of the savanna. Adult males can weigh up to 900 kilograms, their massive horns and muscular frames a testament to the evolutionary arms race between predator and prey. Yet, it is not the individual but the herd that defines the Cape buffalo's true power. Herds can number in the thousands, moving as a single coordinated entity across the plains. This unity is their greatest defense, a living fortress that few predators dare to challenge. Leadership within these herds is nuanced. While dominant bulls compete for breeding rights, it is the experienced matriarchs who guide the group, drawing on years of knowledge to navigate the landscape. These matriarchs remember the locations of distant waterholes and the best grazing grounds, leading the herd through seasonal droughts and times of abundance alike. Their memory is a lifeline for the group, especially during the harsh, dry season when resources are scarce. Decision-making is a collective process. When it's time to move, females will stand and gaze in the direction they wish to travel. The herd observes, and when a consensus is reached, the entire group shifts as one, demonstrating a remarkable form of animal democracy. The Cape buffalo's vigilance is constant. Eyes and ears are always attuned to the presence of predators, lions, hyenas, and crocodiles. Unlike many herbivores, their instinct is not to flee, but to confront danger head-on. When a threat is detected, the herd forms a defensive phalanx, horns forward, calves and vulnerable members shielded at the center. This wall of muscle and bone is nearly impenetrable, and even the most determined predators hesitate before launching an attack. In the face of a lion pride, the herd's response is swift and coordinated. They close ranks, presenting a united front, and if necessary, charge as a single unit to drive the predators away. This mobbing behavior is a powerful deterrent. The herd surges forward, bellowing and brandishing their horns, forcing even the most formidable hunters to retreat. Loyalty within the herd is legendary. Individuals will risk their lives to protect calves or injured adults, often returning to confront predators and rescue those in peril. Such rescues are not rare. A herd may charge back into a pride of lions, scattering the attackers and freeing a captured member, a testament to their unbreakable social bonds. The motto of the Cape buffalo could well be, "Never leave a comrade behind." This collective defense is a cornerstone of their survival strategy. Even when not under immediate threat, Cape buffalo display a readiness to defend. Their aggressive posturing warns would-be predators that they are not easy prey. Remarkably, Cape buffalo are known to exhibit vengeance. They remember individual predators that have attacked their herd and have been observed seeking out and confronting these threats long after the initial encounter. Their memories are sharp, and grudges can last for years. This long-term awareness adds another layer to their defensive repertoire. There are documented cases of buffalo herds actively hunting down lions, flushing them from cover and trampling them, turning the tables on their would-be hunters. In a chilling display of proactive defense, buffalo have been seen seeking out and killing lion cubs, eliminating future threats before they can mature. This reputation for aggression and unity makes the Cape buffalo one of the most dangerous animals for any predator to confront. Even lions approach with caution, often waiting for hours for a single weak individual to stray from the herd. As males age, they often leave the main herd, forming smaller bachelor groups known as dagger boys. These groups are composed of older bulls, past their breeding prime, who band together for mutual protection. The name dagger boy comes from their fondness for wallowing in mud, which cools their bodies and protects them from biting insects. These solitary bulls are notoriously unpredictable and aggressive, having survived countless encounters with predators and the harsh realities of the savannah. When threatened, they rely on experience and sheer determination, often fighting to the death rather than fleeing. At night, both herds and bachelor groups rest in tight circles, backs to one another, ensuring that every direction is watched and no predator can approach unseen. Through collective defense, democratic leadership, and an indomitable spirit, the Cape buffalo has become a true titan of the savannah. Its presence commands respect, shaping the very dynamics of the ecosystem it inhabits. The savannah at night is alive with a haunting chorus, whoops, giggles, and eerie cackles echoing across the grasslands. These are the unmistakable calls of the spotted hyena, a species whose true nature is far more complex than legend suggests. Spotted hyenas are among the most vocal of all African carnivores, using a sophisticated array of sounds to communicate. Each call serves a distinct purpose, rallying the clan, signaling distress, or establishing territory. Their whoops can carry for miles, allowing clan members to coordinate movements and respond rapidly to opportunities or threats. Far from being mere scavengers, spotted hyenas are highly intelligent and adaptable predators. Their hunting strategies are a testament to their problem-solving abilities and social cooperation. Working in coordinated groups, they can bring down prey much larger than themselves, using endurance and teamwork to outlast and outmaneuver their quarry. The foundation of hyena society is the clan, a tightly knit, hierarchical group that can number up to 100 individuals. Each clan occupies a well-defined territory, marked by communal latrines and scent posts, which are maintained and defended with remarkable vigilance. At the heart of every clan is a strict matriarchal order. The dominant female, or alpha, leads with absolute authority, her status reinforced by both physical strength and social alliances. Female hyenas are larger, more muscular, and more aggressive than males, a result of unique hormonal influences during development. This physical dominance is matched by social power, as females control access to food, mates, and prime den sites. The alpha female's leadership is unchallenged. She determines the movement of the clan, leads hunts, and mediates conflicts. Her presence is central to the stability and cohesion of the group. Social rank within the clan is inherited, not earned. The offspring of high-ranking females, even newborn cubs, automatically outrank all lower-status adults, shaping their access to resources and their future prospects. This inherited hierarchy is evident at every feeding. The cubs of the alpha female feed first, while others wait their turn, reinforcing the social order from the earliest moments of life. Feeding is a highly ritualized event. Dominant females and their young claim the choicest portions, while subordinates must wait, often surviving on scraps. This system ensures the survival and strength of the ruling lineage. The social structure is reinforced through frequent displays of dominance and submission. Ritualized greetings, postures, and even mock aggression maintain order and minimize conflict. Competition is fierce, but the hierarchy brings stability. Each member knows its place, reducing the risk of injury and chaos during high-stress moments like feeding or defending territory. Males occupy the lowest ranks. They are peripheral, often excluded from the best resources, and must constantly display submissive behaviors to avoid aggression from females. Even the lowest-ranking female, outranks the highest-ranking male. Males defer, moving aside and adopting submissive postures in the presence of females. Upon reaching maturity, males are forced to leave their birth clan. This exile is a perilous journey, as they must navigate unfamiliar territories and avoid hostile clans and predators. To join a new clan, a male must undergo a lengthy period of appeasement, approaching cautiously, bowing and groveling before the resident females. Acceptance is never guaranteed and may take months of persistent effort. Even after acceptance, immigrant males remain at the bottom of the social ladder, feeding last and constantly reinforcing their subordinate status through ritualized behaviors. Mating is a delicate negotiation. Males must court females with patience and deference, as females choose their partners and control all aspects of reproduction. As hunters, spotted hyenas are formidable. Their powerful jaws can crush bones, allowing them to access nutrients unavailable to most other predators. Their stamina enables them to pursue prey over long distances, and their intelligence allows them to adapt tactics to different situations. The relationship between hyenas and lions is one of intense competition. Both species vie for territory and food, leading to frequent confrontations that can shape the balance of power on the savanna. A single hyena is no match for a lion, but the collective strength of a clan can tip the scales. Hyenas use their numbers and coordination to challenge even the most dominant predators. Through mobbing tactics, hyenas can harass and exhaust lions, sometimes driving them away from kills. This dynamic rivalry plays a crucial role in shaping the ecosystem, influencing the distribution of food and the behavior of both species. Spotted hyenas are not just predators or scavengers, they are ecosystem engineers. By consuming carrion and breaking down bones, they recycle nutrients and help maintain the health of the savanna. Their complex social lives, communication, and survival strategies have made them one of Africa's most successful and adaptable carnivores, thriving in environments where few others can endure. While many of the savanna's inhabitants find safety in numbers, forming herds or prides to increase their odds of survival, there are those who must rely solely on themselves. These are the solitary hunters, creatures whose very existence is defined by independence, precision, and adaptability. Among these, the leopard stands as a paragon of solitary mastery, navigating the vast and often perilous savanna alone. The leopard's hunting technique is a study in patience and stealth. It moves with calculated silence, using the tall grasses and dense undergrowth as cover, its spotted coat blending seamlessly with the dappled light and shadow. From a vantage point in the trees or concealed in the brush, the leopard observes its prey, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. It is a creature of shadow and silence, a master of ambush that can approach within meters of its target before launching a sudden explosive attack. The leopard's success depends on its ability to remain undetected, using every muscle with precision to avoid making a sound. For the leopard, there is no margin for error. Each hunt is a solitary endeavor, and failure can mean days without food. When a kill is made, the leopard's next challenge is to protect its hard-won meal from larger, more aggressive competitors. Without the support of a pride or pack, the leopard must rely on its own strength and ingenuity. Its hunting style is built on precision. Every movement calculated, every leap measured. A single miscalculation, a slip, a poorly timed pounce, or an injury can have dire consequences, as there is no one to help or share the burden. The leopard's agility is legendary, allowing it to traverse narrow branches and unstable terrain with ease, always seeking the safest route to both hunt and escape danger. Its muscular build is a testament to its power, enabling it to drag heavy prey across the ground and up into the trees. Pound for pound, the leopard is one of the strongest of the big cats, capable of lifting more than twice its own weight. This strength is not just for show. It is a vital adaptation, allowing the leopard to hoist its kill high into the branches, out of reach of scavengers. Here the leopard can feed in relative safety, returning to its larder over several days, minimizing the need for frequent, risky hunts. This treetop storage is a hallmark of leopard survival, a strategy honed by generations of solitary living. Even so, the threat of lions and hyenas is ever present, and the leopard must remain vigilant, always ready to defend its meal or retreat to safety. Feeding in the safety of the treetops, the leopard can avoid unnecessary confrontations and conserve its energy for the next hunt. The only exception to the leopard's solitary nature is the bond between mother and cubs. For the first 18 to 24 months of life, cubs remain with their mother, learning the skills essential for survival. She teaches them to stalk, to climb, and to hunt, preparing them for the challenges of a solitary existence. Eventually, each young leopard must leave its mother's side, venturing into the wild to carve out its own territory and fate. Stealth, strength, and adaptability are the leopard's tools for survival, but speed is the domain of another solitary hunter, the cheetah. The cheetah is the fastest land animal on Earth, a specialist whose entire body is built for acceleration and pursuit. Its long, slender limbs, flexible spine, and lightweight frame allow it to reach speeds exceeding 100 kilometers per hour in mere seconds. The cheetah's hunting strategy is built on explosive bursts of speed, closing the gap between itself and its prey in a matter of heartbeats. It targets fleet-footed animals like gazelles, relying on its acceleration and agility to outmaneuver and trip its quarry. The chase is short and intense, often lasting less than a minute, as the cheetah's body overheats quickly during the sprint. After a successful hunt, the cheetah must rest and recover, vulnerable to other predators who may steal its hard-earned meal. Unlike the leopard, the cheetah's build sacrifices strength for speed, making it ill-equipped to defend its prey from lions, hyenas, or even leopards. Confrontation is rarely an option. The cheetah must often abandon its kill to avoid injury or death. This vulnerability is a constant challenge, forcing the cheetah to hunt more frequently and remain ever watchful. For cheetah mothers, the risks are even greater. While hunting, they must leave their cubs hidden in the grass, exposed to threats from predators and scavengers. The survival of her offspring depends on her ability to hunt quickly and return before danger finds them. Cheetah society is unique among big cats. Females are solitary and nomadic, each patrolling vast territories in search of prey and safe den sites. They avoid other cheetahs except when raising cubs, to reduce competition and risk. This solitary lifestyle demands constant vigilance and adaptability, as each female must secure enough food and avoid larger predators on her own. Male cheetahs, in contrast, often form small coalitions, usually with brothers, working together to defend territories and increase their chances of reproductive success. These coalitions allow males to control larger areas and compete more effectively with rivals, a rare example of cooperation among otherwise solitary hunters. Together, they can defend their territory and resources, but even in these groups, the challenges of the savanna are ever present. This camaraderie is the exception, not the rule, in a world where most cheetahs live and hunt alone. Both the leopard and the cheetah exemplify the extraordinary adaptations required for solitary survival on the savanna. Their lives are a testament to the power of the individual, each relying on unique skills, from stealth and strength to speed and agility. In the vast, unforgiving expanse of the savanna, survival is not guaranteed by numbers, but by the relentless pursuit of solitary perfection. In the vast open spaces of the savanna, survival is rarely a solo endeavor. Here the art of partnership is woven into the very fabric of life. With danger potentially lurking behind any termite mound or patch of tall grass, no single animal can watch all directions at once. This constant threat has driven the evolution of remarkable alliances, some obvious, others hidden in plain sight. Among the most iconic are the interspecies partnerships, where animals of different kinds join forces for mutual benefit. One classic example is the alliance between ostriches and zebras. The ostrich, towering above the grass, acts as a vigilant sentry, its keen eyesight detecting threats from afar. Meanwhile, the zebra's acute hearing and sensitive nose pick up the faintest sounds and scents of danger. Together, they form a living security network, each species compensating for the other's weaknesses. This partnership is built on trust, each animal relying on the specialized senses of its companion. While the ostrich scans the horizon, the zebra listens and sniffs for the subtlest signs of a predator's approach. A sudden movement from one is an instant alarm for the other, giving both a vital head start to escape. This simple yet effective symbiotic relationship is a testament to the power of cooperation in the wild. But the savanna's partnerships extend far beyond these large mammals. The Great Migration itself is a living example of interspecies cooperation, as wildebeest and zebras travel together in search of greener pastures. Each year, up to 1.5 million wildebeest and hundreds of thousands of zebras embark on a 3,000-kilometer journey, their fates intertwined. They are not simply traveling companions, they actively assist one another. Zebras, with their ability to eat tough, tall grasses, pave the way for wildebeest who prefer the tender shoots left behind. Zebras often lead the migration, their resilience and memory guiding the herds to water and fresh grazing. By consuming the upper layers of grass, zebras expose the lush, nutritious growth beneath. Wildebeest follow, feasting on these new shoots, a process known as grazing succession, which benefits both species. This mutualism ensures that both animals maximize their food intake, reducing competition and increasing survival odds. Not all partnerships are between large mammals. Birds, such as oxpeckers, form intimate alliances with buffalo, giraffes, and antelope. The oxpecker feeds on ticks and parasites, providing relief to its host while gaining a steady meal. These birds also act as sentinels, raising the alarm with shrill calls when predators approach, further protecting their mammalian partners. Even plants participate in the web of mutualism. The acacia tree, for example, offers nutritious leaves to giraffes and antelope. In return, the acacia is protected by armies of ants that live within its hollow thorns. These ants defend the tree from leaf-eating insects and even large herbivores, stinging intruders and deterring overgrazing. The ants receive shelter and sweet nectar from the tree, while the acacia gains a living defense system. Of course, the Great Migration is fraught with peril, especially at the river crossings, where cooperation is tested to its limits. Here, the herds must face the Nile crocodile, an ancient ambush predator that acts as a grim tax collector. These reptiles, with the strongest bite force in the animal kingdom, lie in wait for the moment of commitment. The zebra's own social structure also aids them during these panicked stampedes. They live in small family groups, or harems, led by a single stallion. When predators attack, the stallion acts as the final shield, bravely defending his females and offspring. Their iconic black and white stripes, once thought to be simple camouflage, create a bewildering motion dazzle effect when the herd runs, confusing a predator's ability to single out an individual. Even the smallest creatures play their part. Dung beetles, for instance, form a partnership with grazing mammals, cleaning up waste and fertilizing the soil, which in turn supports the growth of new grasses. Pollinators, like bees and butterflies, visit flowering plants, ensuring the next generation of savanna flora while feeding on nectar. Across the savanna, these intricate partnerships between bird and beast, plant and insect, mammal and tree, form a living network of cooperation. In this world, survival is not just about strength or speed, but about the bonds that tie species together in a delicate, enduring balance. The African savanna is a crucible of survival, where the relentless pressures of heat, drought, and predation have not only shaped the bodies and societies of its inhabitants, but have also driven the evolution of remarkable intelligence and adaptability. Here, Survival often depends on more than strength or speed. It demands ingenuity, learning, and the ability to solve complex problems. Across this vast landscape, animals display a spectrum of cognitive skills, from observational learning to the use of tools and even deception. These behaviors are not mere instinct. They are the result of trial, error, and sometimes cultural transmission within animal groups. In the sun-baked expanses of the Senegalese savanna, chimpanzees have adapted to an environment far harsher than the forests their relatives inhabit. Here, temperatures can soar to 45 degrees Celsius, and shade is a rare commodity. To cope, these chimpanzees have learned to seek out and utilize caves, natural shelters that offer respite from the searing midday sun. This behavior, observed repeatedly, demonstrates their ability to recognize and exploit features of their environment for survival, but their ingenuity extends far beyond shelter. Savanna chimpanzees are among the few non-human animals known to manufacture and use tools for hunting. Females and juveniles in particular have been observed selecting sturdy branches, stripping them of leaves, and sharpening the tips with their teeth to create wooden spears. With these tools, they probe into tree hollows to hunt elusive bush babies, demonstrating foresight, dexterity, and an understanding of cause and effect. Tool use is not the exclusive domain of primates. Across the savanna, a surprising array of species have developed their own methods for manipulating the environment to their advantage. The Egyptian vulture, a striking bird with a white body and yellow face, is renowned for its resourcefulness. Ostrich eggs, with their thick, nearly impenetrable shells, present a formidable challenge. The vulture's beak alone is no match for this natural fortress. Ingeniously, the vulture selects a suitable stone, grips it in its beak, and repeatedly hammers the egg until it cracks. This behavior is not innate. Young vultures must observe and practice before mastering the technique, highlighting the importance of learning and imitation in the wild. This makes the Egyptian vulture one of the very few avian tool users, a distinction shared by only a handful of bird species worldwide. The vulture's inventiveness extends further. It engages in cosmetic coprophagia, consuming herbivore dung to absorb carotenoid pigments, which intensify the yellow coloration of its face. This vivid display signals health and vitality to potential mates, a subtle but effective form of communication shaped by natural selection. Intelligence in the savanna is not limited to tool use. Deception, too, is a powerful survival strategy. The fork-tailed drongo, a small glossy black bird, is a master of trickery. This bird possesses an extraordinary ability to mimic the alarm calls of over 50 different animal species, from other birds to mammals. The drongo uses this talent to its advantage, closely observing foraging animals and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. When a family of meerkats uncovers a prize, such as a scorpion, the drongo positions itself nearby, ready to exploit the situation. At the critical moment, the drongo emits a flawless imitation of the meerkat's own alarm call. Instinctively, the meerkats abandon their meal and dash for cover, convinced a predator is near. Seizing the opportunity, the drongo swoops down and snatches the abandoned food. This strategy is so effective that it provides nearly a quarter of the drongo's diet, a testament to the power of learned behavior and adaptability. The drongo's success relies on its ability to read social cues, remember past interactions, and adjust its tactics, skills that require both intelligence and flexibility. Throughout the savanna, animals are constantly faced with new challenges: droughts that parch the land, predators that stalk the unwary, and competition for scarce resources. In response, many species have developed innovative solutions, from elephants digging wells in dry riverbeds to birds using twigs to extract insects from crevices. Chimpanzees, for example, have been seen excavating deep into dry riverbeds to access hidden water, while Egyptian vultures wield stones as hammers to unlock otherwise inaccessible food sources. These behaviors are not static. They are learned, refined, and sometimes even passed down through generations, illustrating the dynamic nature of animal intelligence in the wild. In the end, the savanna is not just a stage for brute strength or raw instinct. It is a living laboratory of adaptation where intelligence, expressed through tool use, problem-solving, and cunning, proves to be one of evolution's most formidable weapons. These animals, through their creativity and resilience, reveal the true depth of nature's ingenuity. While lions, buffalo, and hyenas are among the most visible societies of the savanna, the true architecture of these vast plains is shaped by a far broader cast of animal engineers, creatures whose influence is often hidden beneath the surface, yet whose impact is profound and enduring. Termites, for instance, are among the most influential architects of the African landscape. Their towering mounds, constructed from soil, saliva, and dung, rise like miniature skyscrapers across the plains. Within these structures, millions of termites labor in darkness, engineering elaborate networks of tunnels and chambers that regulate temperature and humidity with remarkable precision. The mounds themselves enrich the soil, concentrating nutrients and supporting pockets of lush vegetation that attract grazers and browsers, while providing shelter for countless other species, from reptiles to birds and even small mammals. Another unsung engineer is the aardvark. With powerful claws and a keen sense of smell, the aardvark excavates deep burrows in search of termites and ants, often under the cover of night. These burrows, once abandoned, become vital refuges for a host of other animals, warthogs, porcupines, and even reptiles, offering shelter from predators and the harsh midday sun. Looming large over this intricate web of life is the African bush elephant, the largest land mammal and a keystone species whose actions shape the very face of the savanna. Elephants live in complex matriarchal societies, led by the oldest and wisest female, whose knowledge of water sources and migration routes is essential for the herd's survival. Their immense strength allows them to topple trees, open up dense woodlands, and create clearings that foster new growth and provide grazing opportunities for other species. During the dry season, elephants dig waterholes in parched riverbeds, making life-giving water accessible to countless animals that would otherwise perish. Their migratory paths carve corridors through the landscape, shaping the distribution of plants and animals across the plains. Elephants also communicate using low-frequency rumbles that travel through the ground, connecting herds across vast distances and reinforcing the social fabric of their society. Their emotional intelligence is evident in their care for the young, the old, and even the dead, displaying a depth of social bonds rare in the animal kingdom. Among the most efficient predators are the African wild dogs, whose tightly knit packs and cooperative hunting strategies yield an extraordinary success rate. Their social structure is built on cooperation, with all members contributing to the care and feeding of pups, and even supporting injured or elderly packmates. Even the solitary black rhino, with its prehensile lip and formidable presence, plays a crucial role as a browser, shaping the vegetation and creating pathways through dense thickets. By feeding on woody plants and trampling brush, rhinos prevent overgrowth, maintaining open spaces that benefit a multitude of other species. Together, these animal architects, termites, aardvarks, elephants, wild dogs, and rhinos, engineer the savanna's structure, biodiversity, and resilience. Their collective actions create a dynamic, ever-changing ecosystem, where each species, through its unique behaviors and adaptations, adds a vital thread to the tapestry of life on the African plains. As we pull back from the intimate dramas of predator and prey, a grander vision of the African savanna unfolds before us, a living mosaic where every creature, every blade of grass, and every subtle shift in the wind is part of a vast, interwoven system. The savanna is not simply a stage for isolated struggles, but a dynamic ecosystem where the fate of each species is intimately tied to the fortunes of countless others. Herds of grazers, from zebras to wildebeest, move in unison across the plains, their migrations shaping the very landscape they depend on. Their presence is a signal, a pulse that echoes through the food web, dictating the movements of predators and the growth of the grasslands. Predators, ever watchful, test the herds, culling the weak and the sick. This is not mere violence, but a vital process that maintains the health and resilience of the population, ensuring that only the strongest genes are passed on. The relationship between hunter and hunted is a delicate balance, one that fosters adaptation, innovation, and the relentless drive for survival. Lions and hyenas, by targeting the vulnerable, act as nature's stewards, sculpting the herds and driving evolutionary change across generations. The great herds, in their endless search for sustenance, are the architects of the savanna. Their grazing patterns prevent the grasslands from becoming overgrown, while their constant movement aerates the soil and disperses seeds, fostering new growth. The annual migrations, breathtaking in their scale, are more than a quest for food. They are the engine of renewal, stirring the land to life and sustaining a multitude of species along their path. As herds graze, their hooves churn the earth, breaking up the soil and allowing rain to penetrate. Their dung returns vital nutrients, fertilizing the land and supporting the next cycle of growth, a seamless loop of consumption and regeneration. This perpetual cycle is the heartbeat of the savanna, a rhythm that has endured for millennia, sustaining life through drought and abundance, hardship and plenty. Across these plains, unlikely alliances form. Zebra and ostrich, each with unique strengths, join forces to watch for danger, their partnership a testament to the power of cooperation in a world where survival is never guaranteed. Even the smallest inhabitants, from industrious termites to vigilant meerkats, play indispensable roles. Termites engineer the soil, creating mounds that become oases of fertility, while small mammals keep a watchful eye, alerting others to the presence of predators. Intelligence flourishes here, shaped by the demands of survival. Chimpanzees wield tools, vultures solve puzzles for food, and drongos deceive to gain an advantage. Each adaptation a response to the challenges and opportunities of this complex environment. The savanna rewards those who can innovate, adapt, and learn, whether it is an elephant navigating obstacles or a cheetah adjusting its hunting strategy to shifting conditions. Social structures, too, are shaped by the demands of this environment. Hyena clans, buffalo herds, and lion prides each develop unique systems of leadership and cooperation tailored to the challenges they face. Within these societies, strategies for raising young, securing food, and defending against threats are as diverse as the animals themselves, each a solution honed by generations of trial and error. The savanna is a living network, a tapestry of relationships where every action reverberates through the ecosystem, shaping the destinies of all who dwell here. No creature, no matter how powerful or solitary, exists apart from this web. Each life is bound to the next, each success or failure felt by many. The hunter depends on the herds, the grazers on the grass, and the grass on the nutrients returned by scavengers and decomposers. Every link is essential, every role irreplaceable. The savanna's foundation is a web of connections, visible and invisible, woven from the movements, interactions, and cycles of its inhabitants. When a single thread is lost, be it the mighty elephant, the swift wild dog, or the smallest insect, the entire fabric is weakened and the balance is threatened. The Savanna Showdown is not merely a contest of strength, but a perpetual collaborative dance, a symphony of life, where every participant, great or small, plays a vital part. This timeless drama, unfolding beneath the endless African sky, is a testament to the resilience, complexity, and beauty of one of Earth's most extraordinary ecosystems. And as the sun rises once more over the plains, the cycle continues, life, death, and renewal forever intertwined. As dusk settles over the savanna, The golden light fades and a hush descends upon the plains. While the great herds and apex predators find refuge from the day's heat, a new cast of hunters quietly emerges from the shadows. This is the domain of the Nocturnal, creatures whose senses are sharpened for survival under the cover of darkness. In the tall grasses, the serval moves with practiced silence. Long legs and oversized ears set this feline apart, perfectly tuned for a life spent stalking in the twilight. The serval's ears rotate independently, triangulating the faintest rustle of a rodent or the soft flutter of a bird hidden below. With a sudden leap, sometimes soaring over 2 meters high, it pounces, pinning its prey beneath razor-sharp claws. Its slender body and spotted coat blend seamlessly with the moonlit vegetation, making the serval a master of stealth and precision. Nearby, the African genet slinks along the branches of an acacia, its banded tail trailing behind. Agile and inquisitive, genets are opportunistic hunters, feasting on insects, birds, and small mammals. Their large, reflective eyes capture every glimmer of starlight, granting them keen night vision. With nimble paws and a keen sense of smell, genets explore every crevice and hollow, their movements nearly silent as they navigate the labyrinth of the nighttime savanna. High above, the silent flight of an owl signals yet another kind of nocturnal mastery. The barn owl's wings are edged with specialized feathers that muffle sound, allowing it to glide undetected over fields and thickets. From its vantage point, the owl listens for the faint scurry of a mouse or the squeak of a shrew. Once detected, it swoops with uncanny precision, talons extended, striking with lethal efficiency. The owl's acute hearing, aided by asymmetrical ear placement, enables it to pinpoint prey even in total darkness. These nighttime hunters rarely cross paths, each claiming their own niche in the complex web of the savanna. Yet their activities are far from isolated. The choices of one ripple through the ecosystem, influencing the patterns of prey and the behavior of competitors. The serval's hunts keep rodent populations in check, while the genet's foraging stirs up insects and lizards, which in turn attract other predators. Owls, ever watchful, help maintain the delicate balance between predator and prey, ensuring that no single species dominates the night. Adaptations for nocturnal life are as varied as the hunters themselves: enhanced vision, acute hearing, specialized camouflage, and silent movement. Each trait is a solution, refined over generations, to the challenges of surviving and thriving when the sun is gone. In the darkness, danger and opportunity intertwine, and only the most adaptable endure. As dawn approaches and the first light creeps over the horizon, these secretive hunters retreat to their hidden refuges, their work done for another night. The savanna, shaped by both day and night, remains a land of perpetual transformation, a world where the unseen is as vital as the visible, and where every life, no matter how elusive, plays a part in the endless dance of survival. Beneath the grand spectacle of lions, elephants, and towering acacias, the true engineers of the savanna move largely unseen. Insects, small in stature but immense in influence, form the beating heart of this vast ecosystem. Their numbers far exceed those of any other animal group, and their daily activities quietly sustain the life that flourishes above. Across the sun-baked plains, termite mounds rise like ancient monuments. These towering structures, some stretching taller than a person, are the work of millions of tireless termites. Within their fortress walls, a bustling society thrives. Workers harvest dead grass and wood, soldiers defend the colony, and the queen lays thousands of eggs each day. Termites are nature's recyclers, breaking down tough plant fibers and returning vital nutrients to the soil. Their underground tunnels aerate the earth, creating channels for water and roots, and their mounds become microhabitats, sheltering lizards, snakes, and even providing lookout posts for birds like the ground hornbill. Elsewhere, dung beetles perform a task as humble as it is essential. drawn by the scent of fresh droppings. These industrious beetles roll, bury, and consume dung left behind by the savanna's giants. Each beetle uses remarkable strength to maneuver balls many times its own weight, sometimes traveling meters across the open plains. By removing dung, they prevent the spread of parasites, fertilize the soil, and help seeds germinate, unwittingly planting the next generation of grasses. Their activity attracts a host of opportunists, birds, lizards, and even small mammals, all keen to snatch an easy meal or benefit from the beetles' handiwork. Ants, too, are everywhere, forming vast colonies that stretch beneath the surface. Army ants march in relentless columns, hunting insects and small creatures in coordinated raids. Weaver ants construct leafy nests high in the trees, their silk binding foliage into intricate shelters. Some ant species farm aphids or protect acacia trees from herbivores in exchange for nectar. Through these alliances and rivalries, ants influence which plants thrive, which insects flourish, and which predators find food. The impact of insects reverberates throughout the food web. Birds follow termite emergencies, feasting on the swarms. Meerkats dig for beetle larvae as a protein-rich treat. Even the mighty aardvark is shaped by its pursuit of ants and termites. Its claws and snout evolved for breaking into insect fortresses. Insects are the silent architects and caretakers of the savanna, decomposers, pollinators, builders, and warriors. Their ceaseless labor underpins the cycles of growth and decay, ensuring that every creature, from the smallest mouse to the largest elephant, can find its place in the savanna's ever-turning wheel of life. Across the sprawling savanna, where golden grasses stretch to the horizon and shade is a rare luxury, waterholes are the lifeblood of existence. These scattered oases, sometimes no more than muddy depressions, other times deep pools ringed by reeds, draw creatures great and small from miles around. As the sun climbs and the air shimmers with heat, a quiet urgency pulses through the land. At dawn, the first arrivals approach the water's edge with caution. Herds of impala and zebra, their ears twitching at every sound, move in tight formation. They drink quickly, eyes scanning for danger, knowing that, in this exposed place, safety is never guaranteed. Soon, towering giraffes bend their long necks awkwardly to sip, while warthogs kneel, snuffling at the damp soil. By midday, the waterhole becomes a crossroads for the savanna's giants. Elephant families lumber in, their matriarchs guiding the young with gentle nudges. With powerful trunks they spray themselves and each other, cooling skin and stirring up clouds of dust. Cape buffalo gather in dense clusters, their horns locked in subtle displays of dominance as they jostle for position. Even the cautious rhinoceros comes, solitary and silent, to slake its thirst. Competition here is constant but measured, a choreography shaped by necessity. Predators linger at the fringes. Lions and leopards wait, concealed in tall grass, while crocodiles lie motionless beneath the surface, eyes barely breaking the waterline. The promise of prey draws them, yet so does the risk of injury or confrontation. For all, the waterhole is a place of both opportunity and peril. As the dry season deepens, these gatherings intensify. Waterholes shrink, their muddy banks trampled and churned. Tempers flare. Hippos claim the deepest pools, their territorial grunts echoing across the plain. Smaller animals wait their turn, ever watchful, darting in to drink before retreating. Birds, storks, kingfishers and doves flock to the shallows, their wings flashing in the harsh light, while fish and frogs cling to the last puddles of life. Yet, even amidst competition, a delicate balance prevails. The comings and goings of animals disperse seeds, fertilize the ground, and stir nutrients into the water. The ebb and flow of life at the waterhole sustains not just those who drink, but the entire ecosystem, providing food for predators and scavengers, and a haven for countless insects and amphibians. When the rains finally return, the waterholes swell and overflow, their banks alive once more with fresh shoots and new life. The cycle begins anew, a testament to the resilience and interdependence of the savanna's inhabitants. Here, at these vital lifelines, the drama of survival is played out day after day, season after season, shaping the destiny of all who call the savanna home. Across the endless savanna, time is measured not by clocks, but by the rhythm of the seasons. The land transforms with each turn of the year, shifting from the parched austerity of the dry months to the sudden abundance brought by the rains. For every living thing, survival depends on sensing these changes and adapting in ways both subtle and extraordinary. As the dry season deepens, grass is crisp and rivers recede, leaving only scattered pools. Dust clouds rise with every step, and the air hums with tension. Many grazers, wildebeest, zebra, and antelope gather into vast herds, their numbers a shield against the looming threat of predators. Driven by instinct and memory, they embark on epic migrations, following ancient routes in search of greener pastures and precious water. The thundering hooves of hundreds of thousands reshape the land, churning soil and dispersing seeds as they move. For those who stay behind, ingenuity is key. Elephants dig into dry riverbeds with their tusks, unearthing hidden water for themselves and for others. Some antelope, like the resilient oryx, can survive on the moisture in wild melons and roots, rarely needing to drink at all. Birds time their nesting to coincide with the lean months, raising chicks when predators are less active and food is scarce. Plants, too, have their strategies. Deep-rooted acacias send taproots far below the surface to reach underground reserves. Many grasses retreat into dormancy, their seeds lying in wait for the promise of rain. The landscape appears lifeless, but beneath the surface, a quiet patience endures. Then, almost without warning, the sky darkens, and the first fat drops of rain begin to fall. The transformation is immediate and astonishing. Grasses erupt in a flush of green. Wildflowers carpet the plains in bursts of color. Trees burst into leaf, and once barren branches buzz with insects and birdsong. With the rains come new challenges and new opportunities. The returning herds feast on fresh growth, and predators follow, their cubs and pups born into a world of sudden plenty. Frogs and toads, hidden for months, emerge in a chorus of calls, filling temporary pools with their eggs. Insects hatch in staggering numbers, providing food for birds and reptiles alike. Even the smallest creatures must adapt. Dung beetles seize the chance to breed, rolling perfect spheres across the wet earth. Termites rebuild their mounds, their activity vital for aerating the soil and recycling nutrients. As the rains ebb and the cycle begins again, every inhabitant of the savanna carries the memory of change. Survival here is not about strength alone, but about flexibility, timing, and the ability to read the subtle signs of an ever-shifting world. In the savanna, life endures by moving with the seasons, an eternal dance between hardship and abundance, written into every root, feather, and hoofprint on the plains. Across the vast expanse of the savanna, survival depends not only on strength and cunning, but on the ability to communicate. Here, every creature, from the mightiest elephant to the tiniest termite, relies on a rich tapestry of signals to navigate the challenges of daily life. Vocalizations echo across the grasslands, each call finely tuned to its purpose. The deep, resonant roars of a lion pride travel up to 5 miles, warning rivals and rallying family members. In contrast, the high-pitched alarm snorts of impalas ripple through herds, instantly alerting others to lurking danger. Elephants rumble in frequencies so low they are felt more than heard, carrying messages beneath the ground for miles, summoning distant relatives, signaling distress, or coordinating movement. But sound is only one part of the savanna's language. Scent marking weaves invisible boundaries and stories that linger long after the animal has passed. Hyenas paste musky secretions onto grass stalks, mapping their territory and broadcasting clan identity. Rhinos leave trails of dung piles, each one a chemical bulletin board that conveys age, health, and readiness to mate. Even the smallest creatures, like ants, lay down pheromone trails to lead their colony to food or warn of danger. Body language is a silent conversation, rich with meaning. A giraffe's slow, deliberate neck movements can signal dominance or challenge. Zebras flatten their ears, and bare their teeth in subtle negotiations of hierarchy within the herd. When danger is near, a meerkat stands tall, tail erect, using posture alone to alert its family and guide their escape. Visual signals add another layer to this intricate code. The flash of a white tail from a fleeing gazelle startles predators and synchronizes the herd's flight. Birds, like the lilac-breasted roller, display brilliant plumage in aerial dances, both to court mates and to establish territory. Even the humble termite mound with its towering spires serves as a visual landmark, guiding returning foragers and advertising the colony's presence to rivals. Together, these forms of communication create a living language, a network of messages that shapes every interaction, alliance, and rivalry. In the savannah, to listen is to survive. By reading the calls, scents, gestures, and signals of their neighbors, animals find food, avoid danger, and forge the connections that sustain life on the plains. Here, in the heart of the wild, the language of the savannah is never silent. It flows from dawn to dusk and through the darkest hours of night, a symphony of survival, written in sound, scent, and motion, across the endless sea of grass. In the open plains of the savannah, where there is little cover, and the eyes of predator and prey alike are ever watchful, survival often depends on the art of deception. Here, camouflage and mimicry are as vital as tooth and claw, an invisible armor woven from color, pattern, and behavior. For many, blending in is the first line of defense. The tawny coat of a lion mirrors the golden grasses, allowing these apex hunters to melt into the landscape as they stalk their prey. Cheetahs, with their dappled spots, become nearly invisible in the shifting shade beneath acacia trees, their outlines broken by sunlight and shadow. But the savannah's masters of disguise are not all predators. The impala's reddish-brown coat fades to white along its belly, creating a counter-shading effect that flattens its shape and confuses the eye of lurking hunters. Young giraffes wear a patchwork of pale and dark, mimicking the dappled sunlight that filters through thorny canopies, nature's own camouflage netting. Some species take deception a step further, using mimicry to mislead both friend and foe. The African egg-eating snake, harmless to most, adopts the banded appearance of the highly venomous cobra, deterring would-be attackers with a warning it cannot back up. Meanwhile, the fork-tailed drongo employs vocal mimicry, perfectly imitating the alarm calls of other birds to scare them away from food, then swooping in to steal the prize. Camouflage is not only about color, but also about behavior. The nightjar, a ground-nesting bird, freezes motionless among leaf litter, its speckled plumage indistinguishable from the earth beneath. Even its eggs are mottled in shades of brown and grey, vanishing from sight. Praying mantises perch among thorny bushes, swaying gently to mimic the breeze, their bodies shaped and coloured like leaves or twigs. When danger passes, they resume their patient hunt, invisible to both predator and prey. Insects, too, are masters of deception. Stick insects cling to branches, their elongated forms indistinguishable from twigs. Some butterflies close their wings to reveal dull, bark-like undersides, while others display bold eye spots to startle and confuse attackers. This hidden world of illusion is a constant battle of adaptation. Predators develop sharper eyes and keener senses, while prey refine their disguises with each generation. In the savannah, to be seen is to be vulnerable, so nature arms its creatures with invisibility, trickery, and the power to vanish in plain sight. Here, amidst the endless grass and scattered trees, the art of camouflage is a silent contest, a delicate balance between being noticed and being ignored. It is a testament to the ingenuity of life on the plains, where every shadow, pattern, and pause can mean the difference between life and death.